What is up, buddy? Beautiful Tuesday here. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling well. I want to say, you know who else is feeling pretty good right now, I bet? I think Ezra Miller's probably feeling pretty good. The question is, should Ezra Miller be feeling good? This is a question we've been asking on this channel a lot. Now, for those of you who somehow aren't aware, Ezra Miller is, of course, the actor who has played the Flash in previous DC projects and has the long-awaited Flash movie actually coming out in just about 2 weeks. I believe it comes out June 20th. I could be wrong on that date. This movie obviously got pushed back because Warner Brothers didn't know what they were doing. We didn't even know if we had a DC franchise. They fired all the other actors, reshot half this movie, because what it seems like is going to happen is that this is going to kickstart the new era of DC Comics movies with James Gunn in charge. It's going to reset the universe, and it's going to do it with all sorts of nonsense, including, of course, Michael Keaton. Batman is back. We got a Supergirl. Who knows? It's going to be a big shakeup. We don't know who's going to survive into the new era of DC films. And one thing we've all been saying is like, well, we know one thing. Ezra Miller's gone, right? Like, that's it. Because this is a madman. Well, mad person. Again, gender non-binary Ezra Miller uses they, them pronouns. I'm going to try my best to respect him. I'll try. I'm probably going to get it wrong a couple times. But we said, look, this is an insane person. He chokes women. He kidnaps women. He does drugs. Probably not what DC wants for the future of the franchise. Yet, Hollywood works in mysterious ways, folks. Because as we're going to discuss, this might not be the end of Ezra Miller Flash. We may see Ezra Miller, not only who we thought his career was over, no, his career may flourish in the new era of Warner Brothers. As crazy as that sounds, we're going to talk about what is going to happen to Ezra Miller. Don't forget, hit that button, subscribe, and let's refresh ourselves on a timeline of Ezra Miller's controversies. Now, this was actually updated as recently as April. They have to keep updating it because this psychopath keeps doing crazy stuff. Now, Ezra Miller's a weirdo, and that's fine. We like weirdos. I'm a weirdo. Okay, but there's a certain amount of gender non-binary wearing weird. Look at this guy. Can you guys see this? He's got a bunch of eyeballs and a mask of himself. Has been having some weird mental problems of sorts. There we go. Let's zoom in there. And part of it you go, well, is that just weird, wacky actor stuff? These guys are artists. They're out there. They're weirdos. Sure. That's all fun. We all like that. But then sometimes the behavior gets a little out of control. Now, this goes as far back as when 2011. This would be back when he was like 18 or something. Charged with marijuana possession. We're going to let them, skip on that. Okay, fine. You had a little weed. Not a problem. But April 2020, this is where things we said got weird. Because remember, this is a DC Comics superhero. You know, it's supposed to be Superman saves a girl's cat out of a tree. These are supposed to be your friendly neighborhood heroes. If you're picked to play these people, you got to be a nice guy. Okay, Ezra Miller chokes a woman outside a bar. We've watched this clip numerous times. Is there a way to get to this clip quickly? Basically, he was outside a bar. This woman, you know what? I'm going to bring up the clip. We can't not watch the choking clip. Okay, here's the famous clip. Ezra Miller wearing a very fashionable woman's coat and a nice pink scarf, meets a fan outside a bar, and this was where? This was in Iceland. So they were traveling the globe. I got the pronouns right that time. And just apparently, Ezra's a bit of a drinker, likes alcohol, likes going to the bar. Got a little too drunk. This fan thought she was being playful. I don't know. It's a complicated story. Altercation, saying she was bantering with the actor as a joke, but Ezra Miller thought that she was real and actually wanted to fight them, and this is what happened.
Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro. Fight?
I'm laughing. I mean, this is terrible. You should not be doing this. But look, she's clearly goofing around. She's laughing. And he thinks she really wants to fight him, and they choke, whatever. He chokes her. They chokes her, throws her to the ground. It's not good. You know, you could say, okay, but you know what? First ever real incident. We go, okay, kind of a weirdo. There was a miscommunication, had been drinking too much. We go, okay, fine. You know what? Sometimes you drink too much, you make a mistake. You get at least one, I think, especially in Hollywood. You're a big time actor, we'll let it slide. Then we started getting weirder. Weird was Ezra Miller putting out a video where he says he's going to fight the K Klux Klays, the Key. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on YouTube. Saying so, threatening those guys. I mean, that's great. And yeah, I don't like those guys either. I don't know why you, the Flash, are making Instagrams about how you're going to fight them. Then all this stuff in Hawaii was wild. We got to bring up this video. Okay, so Ezra Miller's in a bar again, drinking too much. Gets in a fight with a guy. I don't know if it was a physical altercation or they're arguing, but I think at some point ends up spitting on the guy. And they go, "Okay, buddy, you're drunk." They called the cops, and this is where Ezra delivers some of the allegedly spit on someone's face at a bar. Ezra delivers so many great quotes in this video. We should make another. I could talk about this video all day. This is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. Let's get a couple of them here.
I got assaulted in this bar twice in a row. I film myself when I get assaulted for NFT crypto art. What's your name? What's your badge number?
When Ezra gets assaulted, he films it because he wants to turn it into NFT crypto art. Okay, well, that's, sure, that's bizarre. Now, here's Ezra being taken into custody. He says the man he was fighting was a German of a certain time period. Good for him, he's fighting the Germans. Here's what happens when they start going through his stuff.
See, I have it on film and he attacked me.
Okay.
I claim my 9th Amendment rights to not be unlawfully persecuted for a crime of no designation, disorderly conduct being something I am unguilty of.
Unguilty. I think the word you're looking for is innocent, Ezra, but sure, you're unguilty.
I claim my 4th Amendment rights to not be searched and seized on no probable cause that you will not be able to offer in a court of law. I claim my 4th Amendment rights to not be unlawful. Hey, you just touched my penis. Please don't do that. I'm not transgender, non-binary. I don't want to be searched by a man. I'm transgender, non-binary, and I don't want to be searched by a man.
What am I supposed to say, guys? What am I supposed to say about this?
Those are Nerf guns, just in case you worry that they're bullets. Those are Nerf bullets.
Thank you for letting
me.
me.
They are fake and they are a toy.
Thank you for letting me.
This is my belt buckle and my Nerf bullets.
I appreciate that.
Please don't take them from me.
This is really what the part I was looking for. My favorite part is that Ezra Miller was running around Hawaii, drunk out of his mind, spitting on people, fighting the Germans, claiming their 4th Amendment right to not be searched and seized as a transgender, non-binary individual, and then for no reason has a bunch of Nerf toys with it. Has a bunch of Nerf guns on their person. And if you really want to get into it, look, is very, you got to use the right pronouns, and I'm trying to use the right pronouns. Let's see. They say, the cop says, "Sorry, sir." Ezra is very upset about that, because again, Ezra is not a sir.
Sorry, I'm not a sir. I'm transgender, non-binary. Please don't refer to me as sir. It's not a
Okay. I was just trying to be respectful.
If you failed to do that again, that is an act of intentional bigotry, and it is a technical hate crime according to U.S. federal law.
That's not how that works. It's not a hate crime according to the U.S. I don't know who taught Ezra the law. Look, I could go through this video all day, and I'm not going to. Okay, so there was that. There's the fact that he's got a girl he's driving around with whose family says that he, kidnapped her. Really, the part that people are most worried about is he met this girl when she was underage, struck up a friendship with her. Then the second she turns 18, he takes her to Hawaii to go on a drug bender with him. Not appropriate in any way. And I won't laugh about that because that is serious. Stuff about, there was a 12-year-old girl. Again, there are no sexual underage allegations. I want to be very clear about that. But just the kind of stuff where you go, listen, individual, not sir. Listen, mix, as I'm supposed to say. You're a grown actor. You're a grown individual. Just don't interact with kids. Nobody wants you to do that. Even if it's friendly, even if it's nice, say, well, thank you for being a fan, or hey, you're a great kid, but don't take them on adventures. Don't tell them you want them to move in with you, whatever this is. I don't know what's in your head. Same thing with Michael Jackson. I can love Michael Jackson up and down, and I don't think he was trying to be inappropriate with those kids, but it was inappropriate to, say, hey, come to my house for a sleepover. Come to my house to play. No, Michael, you're a grown man. You can't hang out with kids. It's not okay. I understand that maybe you think I can't tell you if it's, it's sinister or just out of ignorance, but regardless, if you're a grown person, you should not have friends who are underage children. Find friends of your own age. It's that simple. All right, so we could go through this all day. He did plead guilty to, I think, stole some stuff in Vermont, all over the place. So this guy was all over the place. This individual was all over the place. Not a guy. This is impossible. This individual was all over the place. And we said, because of all this, we expect they've sunk so much money into the Flash movie, right? So the Flash movie has probably cost them, probably close to $500 million at this point with the number of reshoots and moving things around and everything else. So we said there's no way they're not going to put it out because they need to make a return on the investment. Our belief was they were going to put it out, try to not talk about Ezra Miller or get Ezra Miller into rehab or something. And then basically Ezra Miller was going to go away. It was going to go, well, that was a fun Flash movie, but this person is clearly too mentally unstable to be an actor, needs to do some work. Who knows if they're ever coming back, but clearly they're done as the Flash. And now we've learned, no, Hollywood does not care. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is, can you make a ton of money? And Hollywood will excuse all your bad behavior. I would say, well, real quick, let's get it. Flash director says they will not recast Ezra Miller in any potential sequel. No one can play that character as well as they did. Ezra Miller will continue being the Flash so long as director Andy Muschietti is involved in the Warner Brothers superhero franchise. During an interview on the Discourse podcast, Muschietti says he has no plans to recast Miller despite the actor's history of legal troubles and alleged abuse. If a sequel happens, I don't think there's anyone who can play that character as well as they did. The other depictions of the character are great, but this particular vision of the character, they just excelled in doing it. As you said, the two Barrys, it feels like a character made just for them. The producer, Barbara Muschietti, I don't know if that's the wife or what, says in principal photography, Ezra was brilliant. The most committed and most professional actor. Ezra gave everything for this role physically, creatively, emotionally. They were absolutely supreme. Now, there is no confirmation that we're getting a second Flash movie. But, as people have been saying, and the reviews have been very strong, the early reviews and the early buzz and the early hype, we have reports. One guy said he went to his theater and everybody came out of the movie and it was like they'd just seen The Dark Knight. It was like that level of excitement. We have reports from internal testing from Warner Brothers saying this is one of the most highly tested movies they've ever put out. That everybody who sees it says it's fantastic. And money is going to talk in this situation. This is a situation where if The Flash can make $1 billion at the box office, it's always that magic number, the $1 billion. That's the number they want to hit. Even if it goes a little lower than that, they might give it some leeway based on the fact that the Flash is not as instantly recognizable as a Batman or a Superman. I could say if this hits $800 million, they would probably be happy. Not so happy because they had to spend $1 bajillion reshooting and whatever else, but at least they're going to make their money back and a healthy little profit. So here's my prediction. Okay, I think this makes $800 million. Warner Brothers is going to be very happy. And they're gonna go to James Gunn. They're gonna say, hey, whatever you're doing with this new DC cinematic universe, you need to make Ezra Miller a part of it. This is a winning formula. We finally have a winning DC character. What's the last big win DC had? They haven't had one in a while, folks. They're gonna go, we finally found something that works. I think the last big one they really loved was like Wonder Woman, the first one. My God, it's been nothing but disappointment ever since. Joker was a big one. That's a little different. But they're gonna say, listen, you gotta find a way to make this work. Now, are we happy about this? I would say not exactly, because I don't think Ezra Miller has really grappled with what he was doing, how he's been acting, how they've been acting, how they have been acting. All the damage that they've done has not really reckoned, with these families that they've hurt. And I think needs some time away. That being said, another Flash movie, it's going to take time to get that running. It's going to take time to get a script. Maybe in 3-4 years, when they're ready to film another Flash movie, maybe Ezra Miller will be a healthy and sane individual. I want to see this individual go to rehab. Clearly has an alcohol problem. Maybe they're doing some sort of treatment right now. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. But this pattern of behavior is not the kind of thing that goes, oh, I'm crazy, and I'm ruining lives, and I'm hurting people. And then, oh, I'm in a big movie, and everything's fine. There's still some problems here. Am I going to see The Flash? Yes, I'm excited for The Flash. And I think, based on what I've heard, I'm excited for The Flash. Ezra Miller might be a fucking nut job, but it doesn't mean they aren't a great actor. Doesn't mean they can't bring something to the role. You got to, maybe separate the art from the artist. That being said, I don't want to enable the artist if after this, Ezra Miller takes the money and starts building a child slave dungeon. I'm not going to be happy about it. I can't separate the art from the artist there. And in that case, I would say you can't be the Flash anymore. I'm sorry. There is a certain amount of your real life behavior that reflects back on the character in the project, and that needs to be reckoned with. So I don't know. I'm mixed on how to feel about this. I wish that people, you know, when they're asked, can Ezra Miller come back? The answer should be, if Ezra Miller keeps doing the work and keeps trying to get better, I think there is a path for them to return as the Flash. I think that's the message. Okay, the message that, wow, no, they did such a great acting job. Oh my God, they're such an incredible actor. That doesn't matter. That's only one part of the equation. Okay, I know you're in Hollywood and you're not really supposed to talk about it. I'm sure people at Warner Brothers are saying, hey, if you do a podcast or anything about any of this stuff, don't talk about Ezra Miller's legal troubles. But frankly, if we lived in a more sane and productive society, everybody right now, I think you have a moral obligation to stop putting it under the rug. I don't think it's right. This is, you know, again, it's Hollywood marketing. I know why they're doing it, but I have to say it's morally wrong to just sweep it away and pretend it hasn't happened. There should be a very real discussion that Ezra Miller hurt some people. He caused some trouble. They caused some trouble, and they got to do the work. They got to make it better. And hopefully that's what's going to happen. You know, I want Ezra Miller to have a career. I think they are a good actor, but there has to be a real reckoning with what they've done. We'll see if that's what happens. Well, I tell you what, guys, if you're a big fan of crazy superhero stories, I want you to check out my first ever graphic novel, now available on Indiegogo. Super Killer #1. There is only 30 days left in the campaign. You have exactly 32 days to get in before it's gone. My character, unfortunately, does not kidnap children and take them on crazy drunken benders across Hawaii, but does get into a lot of crazy shenanigans, fighting magical girls, fighting Supermen, and trying to be the best multiversal assassin there is. I think you guys are going to love this story. If you like my humor, if you like my channel, this is the kind of comic book that you're really going to love. Again, that's available right now on Indiegogo. Check the link in the description, and take care of yourselves, guys. Remember, don't misgender anyone, because that is a federal hate crime against the Fourth Amendment. Whatever. What a nut job.